Hey everybody, welcome back to Mrs. Scott's speech room, the R room. We are going to talk about the anatomy. Anatomy is the parts of our body. So when I went to school, I had to learn about the tongue, the mouth, the jaw, the throat, all those pieces of our face and our ears and everything, so I knew how to teach. So what you need to learn today, or work on, you won't memorize it, but you're gonna work on it today, is the parts of our mouth. Our tongue is like an elephant's trunk. It doesn't just go up and down and back and forth. It twists and it turns. It can go every which way. And we have control over that, and we can make it go where we need it to go. But our tongue can be a little tricky because it has a lot of habit strength, like I talked about before. A habit of going in a certain direction or doing something specific that can often come out incorrectly. So we need to practice where it's going. We also need to teach it something new. Okay, so the first part we're going to talk about is the tongue tip. And I am doing this with the Jamboard. There's Jamboard R Part 1 and Anatomy R Part 1 and Part 2 that I will have in the classroom. So I want you, if you can, to click on this video and the anatomy part so you can see what I'm seeing right now on my computer. So we have the tongue tip. And that is important for sounds like t, d, n, and l. The T, the D, the N, and the L all lift our tongue up. I want you to say t, d, n, l. Nice. So, here's a funny thing. Can you see how high you can lift your tongue up? Can you touch your nose? I can't. I can only get right here. But I know some kids that can touch their nose, some that can only get up to here. Just see how high you can lift your tongue. All right, I know I mentioned this before, the bumpy part behind our teeth is the alveolar ridge. And we can call that our home base. Right here. The bumps go from side to side. There's a little slot kind of thing in the middle. Just feel around with that. We can call it bumps or home or the spot. So if you put your tongue up for you can feel it, or t, d, n. All right, so I want you to take your tongue and just feel around up there. Get a good feel for it. Our tongue needs to learn how to move up and touch that area. So the next part is the sides of our tongue. The sides, and of course everybody's tongue looks different, so your sides of your tongue are gonna look a little different. The sides of your tongue are used to anchor your tongue to hold it steady. Just like you drop an anchor and it keeps the ship where it needs to be in the water, it's gonna keep your tongue where it needs to go. It's gonna anchor it. And when you make, it holds it steady when you make every consonant in our language except for L and TH. All right, the sides of our tongue. Watch your tongue as you say E and ah. Did the sides move up the same way for both sounds, or did they move differently? E, ah. Differently, right? E moves up, ah stays down. Now we're going to talk about the groove of our tongue, or the blade of our tongue, right in the middle there. Whew, that tickles. So when we are going to when we anchor your tongue, we lift the sides, and a groove forms in the center, and the air is going to go over it. So when we say s, z, sh, ch, and j, we push air straight down the middle of this groove, right down the front. And the blade, like I said, our groove tickles, is right in the middle. So the blade of the tongue is behind the tip. Tip, blade. The blade lifts up to make sounds with our palate, like sh, zh, and ch, or j and ch, excuse me. And then we have the top molars. I got a lot of fillings back there. All around the teeth. The parts that are really hard to floss back there, those top molars. The molar is another name for tooth. It is specifically used when talking about the larger teeth in the back of your mouth. The top back molars are important for producing and forming every English sound except the and the th. So we don't use our teeth for th or All right. So open wide and look for your molars. Do you have any? They might have fallen out. Depends on how old you are right now. Can you lift the sides of your tongue to top those back molars? And you can work with saying E and get a feel for the sides of our tongue touching those top molars. Now we're going to talk about the front teeth. I can't show my bottom teeth when I smile, so these are our front teeth. The 4 front teeth. The front teeth are used to say 3 sounds. Can you figure out which ones? Let's try. B, f, p, v, or th. Did you see it? B just uses our lips. F uses our teeth, and p uses our lips. V uses our teeth, and th uses our teeth and our tongue. All right. All right. Can you figure out how your teeth are used for f and v? Our top teeth bite down on our lip, our bottom lip. And when we do say the f, our teeth kind of bite, but not like that. We just put our tongue between our teeth and blow air. And I always tell my kids, that's the only time you can stick your tongue out at me. All right, now we're gonna move on to part 2. So there's a little quiz, and it's got stars with various colors or different colors. And normally if we were together, I would say, tell me what the pink star is or the white star. But we're just gonna review real quick right here together. So we have our front teeth right here, those 4 teeth. We have that alveolar ridge, a bumpy part, or a hard palate, and all the way back is a soft palate. So it goes the bumpy ridge, alveolar ridge, back to this hard palate where it gets harder, no bumps. And then if you keep going back, if you can go that far, that's the soft palate. And we have the back molars, those big teeth, and we have the tip of our tongue, the sides of our tongue, and the blade. And then we also have to think about the back of our tongue, because that's doing something too. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so this is the quiz. So what part is this? And it'll give you choices, but you can't click on them. You'll just have to think about it. It's the sides of our tongue. And when you open it, okay, it says, when the sides of your tongue go up to touch your top molars, it's called finding your what? And it says horse, bike, anchor, or resting point. And like we talked about, it's the anchor. It's what's gonna keep us steady. All right, and then there's 2 pictures of lip rounding. We haven't talked about this yet, but when we are saying our R and we have a hard time saying it, we might round our lips like wabbit or wed for red. So let's look at the difference. Wed, red. When I say my lips round a little bit, but not like this. Ooh, the W sound. All right, so what muscle raises and lowers with the jaw? If our tongue is connected to our jaw, it's the tongue. Our tongue is connected all the way back here. So you can see it moving as I move my jaw. All right, what part of the tongue is this? It's the tip. Good. And when we round our lips, we say O or W. O or W. We need to get those out of there when we're practicing our sounds. All right, so we've practiced that one. And this, in the middle, the part that cups up is the blade. So nice job. And then the next few pages, I just have what we call syllables. Syllables are the R sound with vowels. So like ra, re, ro. And then the next couple pages are words and phrases. Just words. We're gonna worry about phrases later. And I'll do another video about how we learn speech sounds. Good job, guys.